Hi everybody, this is Goddess Kendra and today I'm going to do a movie review about Saw Spiral. I'm going to read the summary and then break down how all the police officers were killed. And I'm also going to go in deeper depth by reading a summary on from a website called screenrant.com, which was published May 17th, 2021. By Brynne Ramella. So here it goes. This movie is 95 minutes. It was released on May 13th, 2021. The director is Darren Lynn Bousman. The actors are Chris Rock, MaxMinghella, Samuel L. Jackson, Marisol Nichols. Okay, so as reading. Working in the shadow of his father, Detective Zeke Banks and his rookie partner take charge of an investigation into a grisly murder that are eerily reminiscent of the city's gruesome past. Unwittingly entrapped in a deepening mystery, Zeke finds himself at the center of the killer's morbid game. So before we get started, Zeke, nobody in the police department liked Zeke because when he was, I guess, a rookie himself, one of his partners murdered a witness and he told on him. So in the beginning of the movie, Zeke Banks was robbing drug dealers in casinos, and then the department busted his cover, but his partner killed a witness, and everybody in the police department said he was a straight snitch, would say like in the beginning they put a rat on his desk and stuff. I'm guessing with the logical mind that when he saw what his partner said and what he wrote did not match what he heard. I mean, I could be down the hall in my own home and hear a gunshot. Now, if someone had a gun, their gun would be right next to me, period. So, Detective Marv Boswick killed by having his tongue ripped out of his throat and being hit by a train. So basically, the reason why this copycat Jigsaw kills him is because he put a lot of people in prison and in jail and lied on the stand. Then the next is Detective Fitch was killed by having all 10 fingers ripped off and electrocuted, and he knew like some of the things that these cops in the department were doing, and he failed to say nothing at all. Then you have Captain Angie Garza, killed by being cut on the back of the neck near the spine and having hot wax melted on her face. The reason why the Jigsaw copycat sat there and did that is because there was like Article 8 that the police were following, like this protocol where they were just being violent to stop crime, killing innocent people for no reason. She sat there with Zeke's father and did nothing about the situation. Then you have Patrick McManus, killed by having shards of glass pierced into his back. He basically knew the corruption of the police department and failed to not do nothing at all, which, you know, blue protects blue, we're not stupid. And then Marcus Banks, which is Zeke's father, was killed by having his blood drained and shot by the local SWAT team, because right when the SWAT team came in, he had like the needles and stuff in his arm, and then it set a trap which caused him to fire. The SWAT team shot him. Now, let's go into depth with what I told you I was going to read you. So I told you this is basically a spoiler alert if you haven't already seen the movie. Spiral ending invokes the traditional format of the original Saw movies, including twists and turns to tackle the action of police officers in the past and present. Spiral follows Zeke Banks, Chris Rock, and his rookie partner, William, who is MaxMinghella, as they take on a case involving a series of violent murders against cops. They soon realize that the killer is paying tribute to the late and notorious serial killer Jigsaw, aka John Kramer. Zeke and William have to play along with the killer's games if they want to survive and save fellow police officers in their department from dying. And by the end of the movie, Zeke puts all the pieces together. Zeke discovers William faked his death and that he was Jigsaw's replacement killer all along. Years earlier, Zeke was previously iced out by his colleagues after he turned in his partner for shooting a victim in cold blood, a civilian that happened to be William's father. William became a cop and got himself assigned to being Zeke's partner so he could enact his revenge on the closest to his father's murder. He killed each police officer whom he deemed to be a dirty cop for individual reasons, and he saved Zeke's father, Marcus Samuel L. Jackson, the former chief of police, for last. Just as Zeke fails to save his father, William gets away. In the middle of Spiral, a distant tattoo identifies William as the killer's latest victim, but the movie's final moments reveal that William actually faked his death and was the real killer behind each murder. The Saw sequel repeatedly called back to the moment that altered Zeke's career forever. For reasons unbeknownst to him, Zeke's partner opened fire on a civilian, falsely claiming that the man pulled a gun on him first. Zeke reported the offense, ultimately putting his partner in jail for murder and really abusing his power. Zeke confronts the man's youngest son after the murder took place. Despite doing the right thing, Zeke was labeled as a cinch by his fellow police officers and completely ostracized by the department. One Spiral ending revealed that William was the little boy whom Zeke confronted that day. It was clear that Zeke was the only police officer William ever respected. Since Zeke was the only good cop in William's eye, William decided the rest needed to be killed. He decided to take them out in a manner that emulated the Jigsaw killer. As an ode to Kramer's puppet, William created a figure wearing a pig head representing the degrading name for a police officer. He targeted police officers who had committed injustice such as lying on the stand or shooting unarmed civilians to tie back into his theme of justice. William killed each cop in a way he believes was deserved of the crime by committing, for example, he ripped the tongue out of the cop who reportedly committed perjury. Zeke was a good and honest cop, so William spared him. William revealed to Zeke in his final game that he wanted them to work together to take down dirty cops and put Zeke through the ringer and Spiral to see if he was worthy. Throughout Spiral, the police officers repeatedly mention Article 8. The movie never actually offers an in-depth explanation for what Article 8 entailed, but it's revealed that it was some sort of destructive enacted by Marcus when he was the chief of police. Article 8 helped tremendously with cleaning up the streets of crime, but in return, police officers had what they interpreted as ultimate power. Many took advantage of that. Based on the contact clues from Zeke's meeting with his old partner, Article 8 indirectly led the death of William's father. Since Marcus enacted Article 8, William saw him as a mastermind behind the whole corrupt system, even if he wasn't directly involved in his father's murder. So he saved Marcus's death for his final. After being directly impacted by crooked cops, William doesn't see the system as ever being salvaged, but To him, righting the wrongs of Article 8 is a good start. When William is still acting anonymously as a killer, he leaves spiral symbols at the scene of the murder as a calling card of sort. During his reveal as a killer, he explained the significance of the symbol to Chris Rock's Zeke. William sees himself as a hero working to fix a broken system. But it is not a straight line to get to his end result. As he tells Zeke, a spiral is a symbol of change, evolution, and progress. Just because William eliminated some crooked cops, the problem won't go away. The prestige of enforcement can easily corrupt people, meaning new dirty cops are always emerging. The problem goes round and round just like a spiral. But within that chain of events, William sees moments for cleansing, evoking the symbols of evaluation and progress associated with the spiral. He spray paints the image all over the city to plant the idea in Zeke's head. As William wanted Zeke to be a part of his solution in his proposed partnership with Zeke, William's solution would need to continue to change and evolve like a spiral. Saw 10 was reported in production even before the release of Spiral, which is the 9th installment of the franchise. The ultimate fate of the next movie might lie in how Spiral ends up performing at the box office. But assuming the Saw 10 can move forward, Spiral clearly set up the story for a sequel that can completely rejuvenate the franchise. William clearly establishes a positive presence within the police department and subsequently fakes his death. Because of that, no one would ever expect him to be the killer. Since he managed to slip away after placing the 911 call to his own location, he is free to continue going on killing sprees in the future Saw movies. Most importantly, though, Williams' role in Spiral ending shows that John Kramer's inspired a new generation of killers. The murder that Jigsaw committed over the span of his career were highly publicized, which gave killers like William plenty of ideas. The odds are that William wasn't the only person inspired by Jigsaw ideology. Spiral offers the idea that anyone can be a killer, meaning that William may not be a killer within the Saw universe. So, towards the end, like I said, Samuel L. Jackson was shot by the SWAT team because once they opened the door, it raised his arms to have guns pointed like this. I don't think no one could survive that after being drained of most of the blood. And then as William gets away, he tells Zeke this, like he did when Zeke's partner shot his dad. Zeke told him, William, like this when he was little. So I honestly like the movie. I tweeted Queer Swak and was like, is there going to be a part 2 to Spiral Saw? Let me know, please. But I give this movie 5 stars. The acting was great. And at the end of the day, people may disagree, but when you do dirty, it's called karma. What goes around comes around. And when you think you're honestly getting away with something, there's always somebody else watching you. So are you really free? You never know if people take revenge on you later in life. And you don't never know who you're working with. And I felt in this instance, the people that got killed in the movie deserved it. Thank you again. If you haven't already, please subscribe and leave your comment in the comment section. And also, please listen to my podcast. I'm on different platforms, but I'll post the link in the description box. Thank you very much.